Hello students, in this lecture video I am beginning with chapter 13 Organisms and Populations, which is a part of the unit Ecology. So first let us understand what is ecology. By now we know what is ecosystem. So the study of ecosystem is ecology. So ecosystem means that we are talking about abiotic as well as biotic factors. So when they are, you can say, combined together, okay, for their survival of any species, that is called as ecosystem, and study of this ecosystem is ecology. Ramdev Mishra is the father of ecology in India. And now let us see how different mechanisms and significance of different processes in organisms have been answered by how and type questions, like a bird who is singing, how it is singing and why it is singing. One is with the help of voice box, the bird is singing or making tunes, and other is it needs to communicate during the breeding season. That is why they are making these sounds, these beautiful sounds which we hear all around us. So in ecology, what all things we will study is, we will study the 4 levels of biological organization, that is organisms, populations, communities and biomes. So it is different levels will form biomes actually. Organisms together form populations, then communities and finally biomes. So let us look at organism and its environment. So our environment is majorly affected by the temperature conditions and the rainfall. So in this graph, the distribution of different biomes on the basis of mean annual temperature and mean annual precipitation has been shown. Desert, grassland, tropical forest, temperate forest, coniferous forest, Arctic and alpine tundra. We can see that this distribution varies. So this one area of a particular region has been shown. So we can see clearly how the temperature and precipitation is varying. Now this will decide actually what type of life forms are there. So there are extreme and harsh habitats also, like the Rajasthan desert, Meghalaya forests, deep ocean trenches, then polar regions, high mountain tops, or when we talk about hydrothermal vents. But still many organisms are there. Depending on the environment they are found. Like camels, they will be found in desert, but polar bear will be found in Arctic tundra. So in this figure also major biomes of India basically are shown: the tropical rainforest, deciduous forest, desert and the sea coast. So in different conditions, different organisms will survive. So not only abiotic components, but the biotic components are also making this ecosystem. So today, let us look at the major abiotic factors. First, temperature. So temperature, we can see that in deserts, in polar regions, it varies across. Even in hydrothermal vents, it is around 100 degrees Celsius. So again, like here example is given that mango trees, they do not grow in temperate countries like Canada, and snow leopards are not found in Kerala. They are rarely beyond any tropical latitudes in the oceans. Alright, so depending on this condition, different organisms are, different variety you can say is present. Now there are organisms which can tolerate wide range of temperature called as euthermal, and another which cannot, which are restricted rather in a narrow range of temperature called as stenothermal. Now there can be thermoregulation, which is helping the euthermal organism to survive in wide range of temperatures. Next, let us look at water. So in water, we look at pH and salinity. So if that is up to the mark for an organism or optimum, the organism will survive. So the salinity, actually the salt concentration, is measured as salinity in parts per thousand, which is less than 5 for inland waters, 30 to 35 in sea, and greater than 100 in hypersaline lagoons. Again, euryhaline organisms which can tolerate wide range of salinities, and stenohaline organisms which are restricted to a narrow range of salinity. Next, coming to light. So light is basically essential for the plants to produce food. So there can be different types of plants. Some need much light, that is the photo period, okay, and some need less amount of light. So it's depending on that. In an ocean, if we talk about, there are bottom feeders and there are surface, on the surface as well as in the middle zone. So sun is the main source of energy. So depending on the light which they obtain, they will perform their activities. Okay, for some animals also light is important. The seasonal variations, the photo period is important for their migratory activities. Next, let us look at the soil, which is the last abiotic factor we'll discuss over here. So in soil also, because soil is made up of different types of rocks, so the soil composition, grain size, their water holding capacity will vary. Similarly, the pH and mineral composition, topography means the type of grain size which it is having will differ. So this will dictate which animals, which plants will thrive in that particular place.